welcome to another beautiful session where we inspire and educate you from the comfort of your home. I am Shalini Sinanan, and today we're going to be looking at imagery in narrative writing. If you look at the picture on the screen, you'll see a beautiful sunset and of course the waves and the ocean. There's a saying that goes, a picture is worth 1,000 words. But you don't get to write pictures or draw pictures in your writing, do you? You have to write words. Let's see how we can make you really understand how to put your words on a paper and create a beautiful picture for everybody who reads it. Today, at the end of the session, we hope to name and describe types of imagery, appreciate and understand the importance and usefulness of imagery in narrative writing, and use imagery appropriately in narrative writing. Now, what is imagery? Looking at the root word image really means picture. So, you're creating pictures using words. Let's look at the description of what imagery is all about. Imagery is the use of descriptive language, adjectives, adverbs, literary devices like metaphors, similes, personification, etc., to help the reader understand what is happening in a narrative piece or text. It involves painting a picture through words in an expressive way, as I told you. It allows a reader to clearly visualize the scene being described. And it creates images in the mind and appeals to the other senses. What senses do you know? The sense of sight, the olfactory sense of smell, the sense of hearing or sound, the sense of tactile or touch, and the sense of taste. Let's see how you can put all of your senses into your writing. Let's examine different types of imagery. Images appealing to the sense of sight. For instance, let's say you write the sentence, "It was sunny." Does that appeal to someone's sense of sight? If you write that sentence and you read it, yes, you know it's a sunny day, but let's put it differently and see how it sounds and see how it can be seen through your writing. The sunlight danced across the field in all its golden elegance. Here we use a literary device, personification, because the sunlight can't dance like you do, but when you write it in words, you can see actually how the sunlight dances through the field. And of course, instead of saying it's bright or it's yellow, you can use the adjective golden, and the sunlight is elegant. So when you write the sentence like this, it makes more sense to the reader, and it puts a picture in the reader's mind of what you're actually trying to say. Observe the use of adjectives and figures of speech in this sentence. The dense green forest was dark and dismal, like an abyss. So we're describing the forest here, and the forest is dense. So instead of using the word thick, we use the word dense. Instead of using just dark, we say it's dismal, like an abyss. So here we compare the forest to a huge, black, open space that you can't see through. And you can actually visualize what the forest is looking like. Observe the use of adjectives and the creative verb here. The bright moonlight dazzled the calm waters of the sea. Instead of saying, the moon looks beautiful tonight, we can say this, the bright moonlight dazzled the calm waters of the sea. One, we see that the moon is bright. Two, it's dazzling, using the literary device personification, and we describe the sea also by saying the waters are calm. Observe the use of adjectives here. The huge mud volcano was located near the dusty village. Notice the use of adjectives in huge and dusty. Let's create an image with our words. Are you seeing the picture of the dog? What do you see when you look at a dog? Yes, he has beautiful blue eyes. The puppy's brilliant blue eyes penetrated my soul. Now, the use of language here tells us that we've used adjectives to describe both the eyes and using creative verbs in the penetration of my soul. The puppy's brown and white fur was beautifully groomed. So you can see by the use of language here that we use adjectives to show how the puppy looks and to know that the puppy was beautifully groomed instead of saying, I combed the puppy's hair. Happy writing. Hi, good day, and welcome to another beautiful session where we inspire and educate you from the comfort of your home. I am Shalini Sinanan, and today we're going to be looking at imagery in narrative writing. Another use of imagery that appeals to us is the sense of sound. We can say the door closed loudly, interpreting that the door has closed and how it has closed. But if we say the squeaky door slammed shut, echoing throughout the empty house, we are describing how the door is. It's squeaky. We're saying not that it closed, but it slammed shut, which expresses the sound. And we're saying that it's echoing throughout the empty house. So we know that the house is empty, and we know too that the sound resonates through the whole house. So you can actually visualize the slamming of the door and hear how the door is being slammed shut. Creative use of adjectives and verbs help the reader to hear the sound from the scene with the use of their imagination. Which words create the sound imagery? Squeaky in describing the door, slammed in knowing how the door shut, it slammed shut, and hearing the sound throughout the house when it echoed throughout the empty house. The adjective squeaky, the verb slammed, and the subordinate clause helping us to bring the whole sentence together and helping you create a sentence that has images that show and hear what you're trying to say. Other examples of sound imagery. The children shouted happily as they frolicked in the playground. The wind whistled in the night, causing the trees to rustle and the puppies to huddle together closely. Images appealing to the sense of taste. And who doesn't like to eat something that tastes really good? How can you put it in your writing? The cake was good. Everyone likes a slice of cake. Chocolate cake is a favorite among a lot of children. The triple-layer chocolate cake tempted her to take a bite. She closed her eyes as she savored the delightful taste of the sweet delicacy. The sense of taste is used to generate emotions in the reader who feels as though he or she is actually eating the chocolate cake. And that is what you want from your reader, for them to feel like they're actually there in the scene with you. Other images using the sense of taste. The candy melted in her mouth. 1 minute she was immersed in chocolate, and then the icy flavor of peppermint overcame her. The bread was like ashes in her mouth as she silently chewed on her dinner. So in one instance, she's enjoying a piece of candy, and in another instance, you can almost tell that she doesn't like what she's having, or she's having a bad day, or had a bad experience. You can use the foods that you eat right around you and make sentences, create your own sentences using words that create images for the food you have. Images appealing to the sense of touch. The blanket was soft. Instead of saying the blanket was soft, we can say, lying on my bed this morning, I felt like I was floating among the clouds, wrapped in the cocoon of my soft, cozy blanket. Notice how the words are used and placed next to each other, juxtaposed in such a way to make the reader really feel as though they're lying in that bed with you and they're enclosed in that warm, cozy blanket. Images using the sense of touch provide the reader with a description of how the character is feeling in the narrative. Here are some other examples using the sense of touch with imagery. As Christie fell, the luxuriant grass tickled her delicate skin, causing her paws to raise. Suddenly, she had the strong urge to scratch an itch. So in this sentence, you actually feel how great the grass is, how green the grass is, and how the grass is feeling against her skin, tickling her. And you too get that urge to scratch. As he molded the roses in his flower garden, Keith ran his hands through the coarse soil and became at one with the earth. The use of adjectives, the use of imagery, the use of literary devices to show that Keith is not just in his garden, but he is enjoying himself being at one with the earth. Images also appeal to the sense of smell. The smell from the kitchen was nice. Sounds okay, but can be a tad boring. As I opened the door, I was greeted by a delicious aroma wafting from the kitchen. My stomach grumbled, reminding me it was time for dinner. So, the scent from the kitchen comes to your nostril, and you smell that delicious smell. Your stomach grumbles, a reaction that occurs from the scent that you get, and you're reminded that it's dinner. So the whole sentence brings the images to the reader's mind, and even the reader might feel hungry as well. In a narrative, descriptive words appeal to the sense of smell and help the reader to envision the scene. Images appealing to the sense of smell, and here are some examples. The pungent scent of garlic drifted up his nostrils, reminding him of vacations spent at his grandmother's house. The pleasant whiff of Mom's perfumed clothes always comforts me. And the scent of food, the scent of perfume, and there are different things that we can use to get that sense of smell into our writing. And as we use examples, as we practice with examples at home, we will know where to use it, how to use it, and which words to use in the correct context as well. Let's look at the review. Imagery in narrative writing. We use language to create imagery which appeals to the five senses. And remember, we started off with that. The sense of sight, the sense of sound, the sense of taste, the sense of touch, and the sense of smell. Remember, using imagery makes your stories appealing and exciting. Your teacher would have given you lists of words that you can use to make your writing that much more creative. You can also help yourself by getting a thesaurus, which is a book with lots of synonyms for simple words that you know already. There are lots of words online that you can look at as well, and you can use objects and people around you to create sentences each and every day that make your writing that much better. Happy writing!